Hello everyone and welcome back to me, Shiva Wilson, and my channel, which as you know, is all about legalizing recreational cannabis in the UK. Now today I've got a very strange one. I don't really know how to go about this. We've got two friends here, Jim and Jane, and we're going to explore some scenarios based on their friendship, blending their passions for cannabis and furry friends. There's some rabbits involved, I believe. Um, it's all a bit nuts. Nuts. Have you ever heard those birds that go nuts, nuts, nuts? I think they're jackdaws or magpies or something. They go nuts like that. Nuts. That's exactly how they sound. They say the word nuts. I'm telling you, people, nuts. Yeah. Okay. So we've got some scenarios here with Jim and Jane's friendship, blending their passions for cannabis and furry friends. Scenario one: the dispensary dilemma. Jim, fueled by his passion for cannabis legalization, has finally saved up enough to open his own dispensary. He's bursting with excitement, picturing a haven for cannabis enthusiasts with sleek shelves, calming aromas, and knowledgeable staff. But then he remembers Jane and her menagerie of furry friends. He calls her up, his voice bubbling with enthusiasm. Jane, guess what? I'm finally opening my own dispensary. It's going to be amazing. Come celebrate with me. Jane's initial joy is quickly replaced by a wave of concern. Jim, that's wonderful, but are you sure it's a good idea? What about the rabbits? The cats? I can't imagine them living near a dispensary. What if someone accidentally leaves a joint on the ground? What if the smoke, the smoke? Jim, caught off guard by Jane's concern, tries to assure her. Jane, it's all perfectly legal and safe. Plus, it'll be a good thing for the community. By the way, it's not actually legal in the UK at the moment. This is all imaginary, yeah? This is an imaginary scenario in a country where this is legal. Good Lord. Just make that clear. Don't want anyone to get the idea that it's already legal. That's why I'm here. We're trying to legalize it. Make it legal, yeah. Right, so Jim, caught off guard by Jane's concern, tries to assure her. Jane, it's all perfectly legal and safe. Plus, it'll be a good thing for the community. We can even have a special section for pet supplies. Pet supplies in a cannabis shop. Yeah, right. Jane sighs, her worry still lingering, but she knows Jim's passionate about this. Okay, Jim, I trust you, but please promise me you'll keep it as safe as possible for all the furry friends out there. There you go. Scenario 2: the high maintenance pet. Jim is having a rough week. His cannabis business is slow. He's dealing with a difficult landlord and he just can't seem to find peace. He's feeling overwhelmed and stressed. Jane, sensing his struggles, calls him up. Hey Jim, I'm taking my rabbits for a walk in the park. You should come too. Fresh air always helps. As they walk, the rabbits... Oh, sorry, Jim, tempted by the offer but still bogged down by his worries, hesitantly agrees. As they walk, the rabbits hop and play, Jane excitedly pointing out their adorable antics. Jim, however, is still caught in his own head. He pulls out his stash, discreetly lighting up, hoping it'll help him relax. Jane, over-observant, notices his fidgeting. Jim, are you all right? You seem a little tense. Jim sheepishly admits he's stressed. I just need to chill out, Jane. This whole dispensary thing is harder than I thought. Jane, with a knowing smile, says, You know, I've been thinking, maybe you need a pet. A low-maintenance one, like a rabbit. They're so calming and they love to cuddle. It's like having a furry therapist. That, can you imagine having a furry therapist? Like, I've been to therapy, they're not particularly furry. Furry? Furry. a a furry therapist. Jim stares at her intrigued. A furry therapist, huh? You know what, Jane? You might be onto something. Scenario 3: the unintentional high. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon and Jim and Jane are hanging out at Jane's place. Jane is showing Jim photos of her new rescue kitten, a fluffy ball of white fur named Snowball. Ah. Jim, trying to be a good friend, pretends to be interested, but his mind keeps drifting to his cannabis plants, patiently growing in his apartment. Because it's legal in their area, as you know. Jane, noticing his wandering gaze, says, You know, Jim, You'd really like Snowball. He's so playful and affectionate. He loves to cuddle. Jim, distracted, accidentally spills his glass of water onto a tray of cookies Jane had baked earlier. Oops, sorry about that. Jane, chuckling, picks up the soaked cookies and puts them on a plate. Don't worry, I'll eat them later. Maybe we could have some tea. Jim, ever the connoisseur, takes a sip of his tea and realizes something is different. He stares at Jane, his eyes widening. Jane, these cookies. Jane, puzzled, looks at the cookies. What's wrong with them? Jim's eyes are wide, his face starting to get flushed. They taste like weed. Jane, realizing her mistake, bursts out laughing. Oh my God, Jim, I accidentally mixed some cannabis-infused butter into the dough. Yeah, accidentally. How can you do that, really? I accidentally mixed a whole bunch of specially prepared cannabis butter into the dough, yeah. I thought it would make them extra special. Jim, caught in a wave of unexpected euphoria, starts giggling. Extra special? Jane, you've outdone yourself. This is the best cookie I've ever had. And so their afternoon unfolds with a mix of giggles, accidental highs, and furry friend bonding, proving that even the most unlikely pairings can create the most memorable moments. Ta-da! Just thought it'd be interesting to have a bit of a varied discussion on cannabis that doesn't always focus on the cannabis aspect. And I was wondering, because my girlfriend really likes rabbits, what it would be like if literally you've got one person who's obsessed about rabbits and furry animals and one person who's obsessed about cannabis. How do they talk? Yeah. Oh well, that was vaguely interesting, I suppose, slightly amusing. So, would you like to legalize cannabis? If so, remember you've got the transformdrugs.org Legalise Cannabis UK campaign going on at the moment. They're trying to raise money. They need 50 grand to get this cannabis campaign off the ground, and they're going to try and get a private members bill into Parliament. They're going to do a media campaign. They're going to consult with experts and get a comprehensive vision detailed out and all sorts. So donate to them, transformdrugs.org, Legalise UK Cannabis it's called. They need 50 grand, so if you've got a fiver, a tenner, £50, £100, £500, if you've got some money that you don't mind giving away to Transform, then please do, because I think it would be a great campaign to get behind. There's also the petition going around at the moment to legalise, regulate and tax cannabis in the UK. I've got videos about that, which I'll put in the links below. And yeah, that will do for the moment. Oh, you can always send a letter to your MP. I've got a video for sending a letter to your MP. And you can always make leaflets and go around leafleting. I've got a leaflet template there as well. So if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe, and you can keep educated, informed, inspired, and sometimes I may well even make you laugh. So thanks very much for watching. I've been Shiva Wilson. We've been trying to legalise recreational cannabis in the UK. Good night.